Hello and welcome to the Parker Files, where today we're going to be taking a look at the Hot Toys Falcon, MMS 361. This is the second version of Falcon and it's from the movie Captain America: Civil War. For the packaging, Hot Toys have combined the look of the figures from the movie to the branding of the comic series Civil War, and they've done it flawlessly. In various places on the outside you find Captain America branding, starting with a faded yet nicely raised and textured shield. The comic-style picture of Falcon on the front captures the likeness and vibe of Falcon flying through the air perfectly. The graphic wraps around the box to reveal a nice action shot of Iron Man and Red Wing, along with more of the airport scene in the background. Continuing on, you see more of Captain America branding on the side of the box with a clean shield, as well as on top of the box with a more noticeable one. This art box really captures the branding of the comic book line, and I love the vibe it sets up for this entire line of figures. The artwork wraps around to the back where we see more of the figures who were present at the airport battle scene. The comic-style versions of Vision, Black Panther, Ant-Man, and Bucky are really well done. The tagline for the film, "United we stand, divided we fall," stands out really well with contrasting colors of white and blue. You also see another shield, and what I love is that above Falcon's name, in small letters, it says Team Cap. That's a small, simple detail, but a really nice touch. After you remove the outer slip sleeve cover, you see a plastic window that gives us a preview of the figure, and again, a simple but defining statement from the film: "Divided we fall." The white text on the blue background makes these words pop, as they should. The back of the box is primarily blue with a list of the cast and characters who bring Falcon to us, along with a nicely detailed image of Captain America's shield. Alright, enough about the packaging. Let's open it up and see what's inside. Here we have Falcon out of the box, and I have to say, this figure is incredible, and immediately I can tell that this will be a figure that stands out in my display. Falcon comes with just about everything you could want in a release, and the moment I picked him up out of the box, I was speechless, which doesn't always happen. So, first reactions for Falcon are high. Starting from the ground up, the boots are really well done and give off a nice armored look with some incredible detail and paintwork. They provide a nice range of motion front to back, but don't have as much articulation as you'd want to get from them side to side. On the other hand, they are sturdy enough for him to stand on his own in some more dynamic poses, and as you'll see later, he can even stand with his wings attached, which I was really impressed by. Moving up to the Shin Guards, they have a really sleek design, and it's obvious that Tony Stark had something to do with the design, as they have an Iron Man aesthetic to them. The Falcon color branding of red and gray looks awesome here, with some small yellowish gold accents, which cap these off perfectly. The pants have a really cool military style canvas feel, and I love the weaving of the straps incorporated here. They look amazing, and the subtle use of color and buckles on the back of the straps is executed to perfection. Similar to the legs, the material on the upper outfit is perfect for a figure that needs to have that military style look. And while the upper of the legs is perfect for movement with no fear of damage, the upper body is somewhat limited in that respect. The suit is seamless in appearance but does have 3 points of articulation side to side. That said, it's not great for that ab crunch, and I feel like it does limit some of the realism in certain flight poses. Overall though, it looks fantastic. The fine details in this figure are amazing. The belt has some nicely sculpted holsters with his gadgets, and even though they aren't removable, they do look great. My only thought of how this could look better would be if the buckles were actually functional. but I could see that leading to a lot of damage, so it's not really a complaint at all. The same thought applies to the buckles on his inner sides and the main one across his chest. The sculpt is great, and I love the look of this red strap. It isn't so much of a symbol or logo, but it is defining. The color and design of it are exceptional, and it really stands out against the rest of the uniform, which is predominantly gray. The shoulder pads incorporate that same military style look with some great coloring and paintwork. You see the Falcon logo, again in that goldish color, which is just a simple yet stunning detail. You don't notice it until you do. What you do notice is one of my only complaints with this figure, and I don't even know how they could have avoided it. It's the visible joints in the arms. Seamless arms were not an option, and I'm thankful for that, nor was lowering the sleeve. It's just one of those things that make it obvious that these are toys, which they are, so I'll gladly live with that gripe over any of the other options. The hands are nicely detailed with some nice padding and red accents to them. The arm gauntlets are small and full of detail. The one on his left arm is much bigger and is of course because of the weapon that you can attach to that, which we'll look at a bit later. Again, like this entire outfit, it's similar to that of the first release, but you can see the upgrade that Tony Stark brought to it. As always, when it comes to Hot Toys, the head sculpt is what can cripple a figure's shine, and I have to say, this one holds its own. I do think it's a reuse of the previous version with a new paint app. Don't get me wrong, that's not necessarily a bad thing. The expression is on point, as is the hair, sideburns, and paint app. I wouldn't say that this is a perfect head sculpt, but I do think it's a good one and that it has a strong likeness to Anthony Mackie. What I can say is that I think this head sculpt is infinitely better when the goggles are added, which we'll see a bit later. But for now, as for a rating, I'd give this head sculpt an 8.5 out of 10. Speaking of the goggles, in terms of accessories, Falcon comes with a number of defining accessories, and each one of them are exceptional. First up, we see the goggles, that in my opinion take an 8.5 out of 10 head sculpt to a perfect 10 out of 10. The ruby red coloring of the lenses, combined with finely used touches of gold in the front and red on the sides, bring this look from the screen to the shelf perfectly. Also shown here is the collapsed version of his backpack. You see the nice vents on the bottom along with the nice weathering overall. The red from the collapsed Red Wing really pops at the top of the backpack and is contrasted nicely with the gold warning labels. It easily clips onto the back, and again, from an aesthetic point of view, this just screams Tony Stark. It's so streamlined and sleek, and the detail put into this accessory is awesome. Removing the side pieces of the vest along with Red Wing allows you to attach his wings, and this look is a showstopper. With 3 points of articulation and what is easily a 2-foot wingspan of textured carbon fiber style material, these wings make this figure soar. The contrast of 2 tones of gray along with the red looks fantastic. The paintwork combined with the detail on the outer skeleton and handles for the wings is incredible. As you look closer, you also see the fine details of bolts and pins in the skeleton of the wings, which are small details that set Hot Toys apart. Zooming in closer, we get a look at Falcon's weapons, which unlike the wings are simple in design, but similar to the rest of his accessories in that they are flawless in execution. Starting off with the handgun in his right hand, he comes with 2 of these which are identical sculpts, but mirrored. The magazine clip is removable, which again is a small detail, but one worth noting. All in all, these handguns look great and really go a long way in adding to Falcon's overall look. Switching over to his left hand, you see not only another one of the hands he comes with, but also another weapon that he comes with. It's a machine gun that attaches to his forearm gauntlet. Now this can attach one of 2 ways. You can have it attached directly to the gauntlet itself in standby mode, or you can use this attachment as shown here. You simply line up the tabs and attach it to have the weapon in attack mode. The gun in and of itself features some really nice detail for such a small accessory. Here we have Falcon and Red Wing in an all-out battle pose, and altogether, this looks phenomenal in my opinion. The colors, details, and sheer size of this display really get your attention. Taking a closer look at Red Wing, you can see with 4 points of articulation and striking paintwork and detail, Hot Toys did an amazing job with this part of Falcon's arsenal in both capturing its likeness from the film, as well as making it a usable accessory. In terms of articulation, you can see here that in flight poses, the materials used allow for some natural looking movement in his legs. You also notice him with both handguns and his forearm gauntlet machine gun, completing this battle-ready pose. Out of all the characters in the MCU, I've never felt that Falcon was a scene stealer, but in terms of a figure on my shelf, Falcon can definitely steal the show. Falcon was one of the comic characters whose costume was so bizarre, I wondered how it would translate into the films. But Marvel thankfully did an amazing job with the character, and in the MCU, I love the evolution of his outfit and his accessories, thanks in large part again to Tony Stark. But thankfully Hot Toys did an unbelievable job recreating the look and bringing it to life. In my opinion, the combination of size, fine details, posability, accessories, and near-perfect head sculpt make this figure as close to flawless as you can get. So, all in all, after looking at Falcon and everything that he comes with, I'd rate this figure a total 9.5 out of 10. I hope you've enjoyed this video and that you want to stay tuned for more. If so, take a second and hit that subscribe button. There'll be more 6-scale figures and diorama reviews coming your way. Until then, stay safe and collect because you can.